Hallelujah. Praise you, Father. You are good. Your grace and your mercy endures forever. And that was your faithfulness, Father. This ask for your Ruach to be upon the hearers of your word. Let those who you have chosen to receive your truth, to receive your word, remove me out of the way. 100% remove anything that is in me that is not of you. I submit to your will. Teach me, Father, your way and your path. And as we continue to obey you, the steps on that path will be revealed as we seek you. These steps will be revealed under our feet. We praise you, Father. You are good. Your grace and your mercy endures forever and ever is your faithfulness. Selah. Shalom. So here we are along the path. It is the Shabbat, and the Spirit, the Ruach, you know, there are fruits of the Spirit. And think about fruit, it's fruit is on a vine or on a tree to be plucked off. And for those who is doing the plucking or those who are partaking, to partake in it, to eat it. To eat it. So if you at a tree and you are partaking and eating of the fruit, you're eating the fruit of the root of that tree that it produces. And the fruit of the Spirit is what? Love, joy, gentleness, kindness, long-suffering, patience, meekness. See, the Spirit, the word cuts. The Ruach, though, bears witness to the word witness to the Ruach. If these agree, always. If they don't agree, something off. Satan's in the mix, But, see, just listen. Just listen. Right? So, please, everyone, myself, everyone, please, pay attention to your fruit. Open the book up. It's all throughout the New Testament, all throughout the epistles. And so even when Yeshua, even when the Messiah was saying what they would call the Beatitudes, right? The kingdom of heaven is for, blessed is the meek, for they shall inherit. Blessed is the poor with spirit, for they shall inherit. See, you got to understand something. When the Messiah was doing it, he was actually saying, blessed are these who actually are a real life representation of the Spirit, the fruit of the Spirit. Now, he hadn't yet left to leave the Ruach for all of us who trusted him. But there were people already who were living examples of the fruit of the Ruach. That's why he said, blessed are the poor in the Spirit. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are the poor. They shall inherit. So these are the things that we must, when Paul says, examine yourself. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. We must continue to examine ourselves first. We must. Because just like when the man was blind and he spat on the ground with his own saliva from his own mouth and mixed it in with the dirt of the world, right? And he made mud and he put it on his eyes, right? And then he said, okay, what do you see? And the man at that point was like in between the world and the spirit, right? Because he had Yeshua spit right in his eyes, right? And he said, whoa, all I see is men walking around, but they look like trees. They look like trees. They look like trees. They look like trees. I see men walking around, but they look like trees. So what Yeshua did inside of that miracle, he allowed for that man to his own experience and that miracle that was being performed in that man for us to get a glimpse of what is really the deal. And that man was able to see in his spirit while yet dealing with the world. And therefore he saw men walking around like trees. Because that's what we all are. Every one of us is a tree. And you shall know by a tree by the fruit that it bears. You shall know a man by the fruit that he bears. And that fruit that we bear should be, we should aim for it to be the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, self-control. So let's talk about that one. Self-control, discipline, discipline, discipline. Let's talk about the discipline. Hebrews chapter 12. Hebrews chapter 12. Remember, the path is narrow. Hebrews chapter 12. So then, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, because remember just in Hebrews chapter 11, we just went down all of what they would call the hall of faith, right? But it's really just a record of those who trusted, right? Okay. And he said, so then, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us too put aside every impediment. Let us put aside every impediment, everything that impedes us, that makes us stumble, everything that gets in our way. Let us put those things to the side so we can keep moving forward on the way, on the path. That is, that thing that easy besets us, that thing that is the impediment is the sin, right? He says it right here. That is the sin, which easily hampers. What does it hamper? Our forward movement. Keeps us in the same spot. The sin, which easily hampers our forward movement, and keep running with endurance in the contest set before us, looking away to the initiator and completer of that trust in Yeshua, who in exchange for obtaining the joy set before him. See, we have to look ahead for the joy that is set before us, just as he did. For obtaining the joy set before him. What did he do? He endured execution on a stake as a criminal, scorning the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of Elohim. Yes, think about him. Forget what we go through. Forget what you go through. Think about him. Think about him who has endured such hostility. Hallelujah. Think about him who has endured such hostility. Yes, think about him who has endured such hostility against himself for sinners, so that you won't grow tired or become despondent. You have not yet resisted to the point of shedding blood in the contest against sin. Also, and this is what we're going to talk about. Also, so let's go up under this bridge. Also, it's very important. Those who have ears, please hear. Those who have ears, please hear. Also, you have forgotten the counsel which speak to you as sons. We must remember that that since we are joint heirs with Yeshua and he is the son, we are joint heirs with Yeshua, so we are also sons. You dig? You know, so we have a sonship. Now, that sounds great, right? But I have sons too, and I discipline them. I have children too, and they get disciplined. So, let's continue reading. Also, you have forgotten the counsel which speak to you as sons. My son, don't, and this is when the writer of Hebrews, of course, goes to the Torah, the Tanakh. My son, don't despise the discipline of Yahweh. Don't despise the discipline of Yahweh, or become despondent when he corrects you. Or become despondent when he corrects you. For Yahweh disciplines those he loves. Yeah, he does. He disciplines those he loves and whips everyone that he accepts as a son. He disciplines those that he loves. And if he accepts you as a son, you got whoopings coming. Trust me, I know. If he accepts you as a son, you got whoopings coming. Why? Because he want to make sure that the fruit of his spirit is in your life. And the way that he does it is he pull out that belt up on you. To teach you the lessons so that fruit of him can be in your life and not the fruit of Satan, the adversary. My son, don't despise the discipline of Yahweh or become disciplined when he corrects you, for Yahweh disciplines those he loves and whips everyone he accepts as a son. Regard your endurance as discipline. Yah, our Father, is dealing with us as sons. Verse 7, chapter 12, Hebrews. Yah, our Father, is dealing with us as sons. For what son goes undisciplined by his father? Right? All legitimate children undergo discipline. So if you don't, you are a bastard, not a son. So if we out here, right, and we're saying that we're the sons of the Most High, we're the son of Elohim, we're the son of Yah, and we're not undergoing discipline, if we ain't getting that belt put on us, we ain't sons, we bastards. Which means we're not of him, we're of someone else. So if you actually are being disciplined, if you actually are being rebuked, if you actually are catching that belt, if this is actually happening in your life, while you seeking the face of Yah, take it. You're a son. For what son goes undisciplined? Right? What son goes undisciplined? Let's continue. Regard your endurance as discipline. Yahweh is dealing with you as sons. For what son goes undisciplined by his father? All legitimate sons undergo discipline. So if you don't undergo discipline, if you don't get your butt whipped, if you don't get that belt up on you, you ain't no son. Furthermore, we had physical fathers who disciplined us, and we respected them. How much more should we submit to our spiritual father and live? Right? For they disciplined us only for a short time and only as best as they could. But he disciplines us in a way that provides genuine benefit to us and enable us to share in his holiness. See, the discipline that we got to undergo is what's going to produce the holiness, which is the totality of the spirit, which is him. He is his own spirit. Yah is a spirit. We must worship him in spirit and truth. So the totality of his spirit is holiness. This is why the prophet said there's a highway that these people are going to come, and that highway is holiness. So the fruits of the spirit, we know they are. These are individual things. But the oneness of these individual things are holiness. Okay? So this disciplining that he's putting on us is to make us holy. Hallelujah. For they discipline us only for a short time and only as best as they could, talking about our natural fathers. But he disciplines us in a way that provides genuine benefit to us and enables us to share in his holiness. Now here's the part that you got to kind of like rinse your teeth on, right? Let's go. Verse 11, chapter 12, Hebrews. Now all discipline, while it is happening, does indeed does indeed seem painful. Now, all discipline, while it is happening, does indeed seem painful. Does indeed seem painful. Whoever getting disciplined, while it's happening, it's painful. If you getting a belt, it's painful. If you're in the gym, lifting weights, bringing your body under discipline, what? The body's inside some pain. The body's experiencing pain. All discipline, whether you discipline yourself to fast or not to eat, trying to lose weight, your stomach gonna be hurting, right? So all discipline involves pain. While it's happening, it's painful. Now, all discipline, while it is happening, does indeed seem painful, not enjoyable, but for those who have been trained by it, it later produces a peaceful fruit, which is righteousness. Back to the fruit. So we see men as trees. We are, please see every man as a tree. Every man, every woman, everybody. See them as a tree. Look at them and you see, and when you look at the tree, what do you see? You see the branches, you see the fruit, you see the leaves. Now, the root of that tree you don't see. Why? Because it's underground, it is concealed. So the root of a man you really won't be able to see. But you can tell what type of tree it is and what it is going on with the root of the tree by the fruit of the tree. Hallelujah. Those who have ears, hear. So now, all discipline, while it is happening, does indeed seem painful. Not enjoyable, but for those who have been trained by it, it later produces a peaceful fruit. That's how you know you went through it the right way, when at the other end you have peace. Hallelujah. That peace that surpasses all understanding. It later produces a peaceful fruit, which is righteousness. So, strengthen your arms, strengthen your drooping arms, and steady your tottering knees, and make a level path for your feet. A level path for your feet. Level path for your feet. So that what has been injured will not get wrenched out of joint, but rather be healed, and keep pursuing shalom with everyone, and the holiness without no one, and without holiness, keep pursuing shalom with everyone, and the holiness without which no one will see it. Yeah. So what do he say? You're gonna if you're a son, you're gonna get disciplined. You got disciplined by your daddy, so you gotta believe your heavenly Father gonna discipline you, right? And it's okay, because while you're getting disciplined, it's gonna hurt. All discipline, no matter what kind it is painful while it's happening, but at the end of it, it produces a certain fruit, and this fruit of the spiritual discipline produces righteousness and produces peace. Okay, so let's continue to go after let's continue to endure the discipline. And then right at the end of this particular thought, he says, so that what has been injured will not get wrenched out of joint, but rather be healed. Because at the end of this thing, we're looking for healing. Keep pursuing shalom. Keep pursuing peace and the holiness without which no one will see the Father. So we must, in this, keep pursuing peace. Are you out there pursuing peace? Huh? Or are you out there pursuing strife? We must pursue peace. Go after peace. And holiness. Because without holiness, ain't nobody gonna see God. So, holiness is, that's that work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, you know. But right now, we're gonna just sit back for a couple minutes and enjoy some natural peace. Hallelujah. 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 Yahweh is good. Your mercy is new forever. Yahweh is good. Your mercy is new forever. You see the Shabbat Shalom. Please repent from all the sin. Turn around 180. Pursue peace. Endure the discipline. Because on the other end, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. Shalom.